I'm Elaine Gross. I'm the founder and president of Erase Racism, and I'm going to... Thank you so much. I'm going to say a few words in a minute, but now I have the honor and privilege to present the second Abraham Krasnoff Courage and Commitment Award to the Anti-Discrimination Center. ADC is tenacious, creative, and a trailblazer. And it has been my honor to work with its founder and executive director, Craig Gurian. They are based here in New York City, so it makes it convenient. And he was counsel to Erase Racism when we were working on strengthening fair housing laws here on Long Island. And I might add that he was pro bono counsel, very generous with his time. ADC is best known for its unprecedented legal strategy of using the False Claims Act to successfully sue Westchester County for having defrauded the federal government by having falsely represented that it was affirmatively furthering fair housing when it had no intention to do so. This litigation, developed and co-counseled by Craig Gurian, yielded an historic housing desegregation consent decree. Please read the journal profile about ADC and Craig Gurian in your journal. Meanwhile, please welcome Craig Gurian.
Good evening, everybody. And congratulations to the recipients of the Corporate Award and to my civil rights colleagues. Thank you, Elaine. It's sobering to think about the Civil Rights Act 50 years on. Title VII had a very simple message and purpose that any child could understand: fairness, opportunity, respect, dignity. And yet 50 years later, there's still resistance. And 46 years after its cousin, the Fair Housing Act, was passed, there's even more resistance to that. And we remain a deeply segregated region in a deeply segregated nation. My first thought when Elaine told me about this was one of gratitude, of course, both for the award and for the privilege of being able to do this work. My second thought, though, was how much easier activists have it today. When John Lewis had to cross the Pettus Bridge, that was courage. You know, today it doesn't actually take all that much courage to stand up to HUD or a U.S. attorney or a court monitor, and yet it seems like a lot of people have difficulty doing so. Those who know me won't be surprised that I always think it's the perfect time for some self-critical analysis. Tonight's no exception, and I do think that it's always important not just to think about the bad guys, the clownish figures, but how the good guys have fallen short. And one way is reflected in the radical change in how the term community is used today as opposed to decades ago. When Dr. King used that term, it was a phrase of inclusion. And today, too frequently, no matter who's doing the talking, and whatever the color of her skin or her place of origin, that's sometimes not so subtle code for my community and not yours. And we desperately, if we want to make real progress, we desperately have to recapture and reclaim true inclusiveness. The idea that it is helpful, it is essential for all of us to be crossing borders of race, ethnicity, economic status, geography, so that we really can be one community, no exclusion. We also don't worry, Elaine, I got the memo. There's not another chapter. I will say I do think that organizations have to be particularly concerned about turning too cautious, becoming sclerotic, becoming risk-averse, or focused on maintaining their own place. This really is something where eyes truly have to remain focused on the prize. I'll close by saying that if we want to have a true movement, not just as a catchphrase, but a reality, we need, of course, to be fierce. But we also need three other key qualities to integrate into our politics and into our interactions. These are not things that I think are talked about a lot, and they should be. Humbleness, kindness, and sharing. There's a lot of work to do. Let's get started on it tomorrow.